In the heart of Hong Kong, a monster once grew. It was the most densely populated place on Earth, Kowloon walled city. For decades, it existed as a glitch in history, a lawless enclave that neither Britain nor China would govern. It began as a Chinese military fort, but after the British took Hong Kong, it fell into a legal black hole. Squatters moved in, and by the 1950s it had become the undisputed kingdom of the triads. With no police, no laws and no regulations, it grew into a vertical slum. Over 300 interconnected high-rise towers, built without architects, housed an estimated 50,000 people within just 6.4 acres. It was a city of darkness, where sunlight couldn't reach the lower levels. Mail could only be delivered to the one entrance. It was a haven for fugitives, unlicensed dentists and illegal businesses. Yet within the chaos, a tight-knit community thrived. Rooftops were the playgrounds, and neighbors built their own infrastructure of water and electricity. In 1987, the Hong Kong government had enough. After a difficult eviction process, demolition began. By 1994, the city was gone. Today, a peaceful park stands in its place, hiding the memory of the lawless, chaotic, and unforgettable city that once breathed there. Forget the stories of gangsters and lawlessness for a moment, and look closer. Look into the heart of Kowloon walled city, and you would find something else, life. In the darkest, most crowded place on Earth, a community of 50,000 people built a world of their own. Mornings began not with sunlight, but with the hum of electricity and the sizzle of breakfast in tiny kitchens. The city's streets were a labyrinth of dark, narrow alleys, where you had to turn sideways to pass. Above, a web of pipes dripped a constant artificial rain. This was a city that ran on its own rules and its own economy. Unlicensed dentists and doctors provided affordable care. Factories churned out noodles and fish balls, their noise a constant heartbeat. But where there was darkness, there was also light. You found it on the rooftops. Up there, under the real sky, children played. It was their backyard, their park, their escape. You found it in the small courtesies of the alleys, the shared meals, the clatter of mahjong tiles in a common room. This wasn't just a slum. It was a testament to human resilience. A vertical city built on ingenuity and the unwritten laws of community. A place where people didn't just survive, they lived. Welcome to Pripyat, the city of the future. Founded in 1970 to serve the nearby Chernobyl nuclear power plant, it was a model Soviet city, young, modern, and prosperous. With an average age of just 26, it was a place of hope, filled with parks, schools, and the promise of a bright tomorrow. On the night of April 26, 1986, that future was stolen. During a late-night safety test, reactor number 4 at the Chernobyl plant exploded, releasing a catastrophic amount of radioactive material into the atmosphere. For 36 hours, as a silent, invisible poison fell from the sky, the citizens of Pripyat were kept in the dark. They were told nothing. Children played outside, weddings went on. Then the announcement came, a temporary evacuation for just 3 days. 200 buses arrived, and in under 3 hours the city of 50,000 was empty. They never returned. Their belongings remain frozen in time, a snapshot of the moment life stopped. Today, Pripyat is the world's most infamous ghost town. It stands inside the 2,600 square kilometer exclusion zone, a chilling monument to the cost of human error. Nature has begun to reclaim the concrete jungle, with trees growing through floors and wildlife roaming streets, once filled with people. The iconic Ferris wheel, set to open just days after the disaster, stands as a silent sentinel over a city that died in its youth. It is a haunting museum of a tragedy, a stark warning to the world, and a place where time itself stands still.
Off the coast of Nagasaki, Japan, a silhouette rises from the sea. It looks like a warship, gray and imposing. This is Hashima Island, but the world knows it by another name. Gunkanjima, the battleship island. For nearly 50 years, it was abandoned to the wind and waves. A concrete ghost city holding the whispers of a forgotten time. Its story began in 1887, when Mitsubishi bought the island to mine coal from deep beneath the seabed. This black diamond fueled Japan's industrial revolution. To house the workers, a city was built, not of wood, but of concrete. Japan's first large reinforced concrete apartment blocks rose here, packed together to withstand the brutal typhoons. By 1959, this tiny island was the most densely populated place on Earth. Over 5,000 people lived in a space just 16 acres wide. It was a complete world. There were schools, a hospital, shops, a cinema, and even a pachinko parlor. Rooftops became gardens and playgrounds. Life was lived in a vertical maze of corridors and staircases, a tight-knit community bound by the shared purpose of the mine. But the age of coal was coming to an end. As Japan shifted to petroleum in the 1960s, the mine's fate was sealed. In January 1974, Mitsubishi officially closed it down. The exodus was sudden. Within a few months, the entire population was gone. They left behind a city frozen in time, a modern ruin where daily life simply stopped. For decades, Hashima was a forbidden, crumbling relic. But in 2015, it was named a UNESCO World Heritage Site, a monument to Japan's industrial might. Today, tour boats circle its shores, and visitors walk designated paths witnessing the decay firsthand. The island's eerie beauty has inspired filmmakers and artists, most famously as a villain's lair in the movie Skyfall. Hashima is more than a ruin. It is a stark reminder of how quickly a world can be built and how much faster it can be reclaimed by nature.